Well, friends, it's time to do my Neville Chamberlain bit, not the piece in our time, but so Saturday morning, I sent the message to Hobby Search to say, "Yep, please don't ship these as one parcel. It needs to be split into the separate orders as per how I had it." And basically, I checked this afternoon, and there'd been a full working day um, to have received said email and read it. I appreciate they have a small English speaking team. Then I got a dispatch notice to say the parcel had been dispatched and was on its way. As one parcel. So as a consequence, I have given them formal notice that I need to have my pre-orders cancelled, as I cannot risk the some of the high amount orders later in the year being combined with other orders or even together, depending on when things come out. I've severed and have provided evidence to them. I've severed the PayPal link for the pre-approved payments. Yeah, it's a sad moment. It really is a sad moment. I didn't want to. I didn't want to do this, but I have to be sensible. And given that this one is going to cost me, I think I estimated about £75 total. I was saying £50 in the video. Was it yesterday? The day before, wasn't it? Saturday video. I was saying about £50. Just in case there is an extra charge on top from Royal Mail Parcel Force for it, then I've allowed for that much. Hopefully it doesn't, and I will update with the actual amount. So far, I've still received no word at all from them. Some other pre-orders actually came in today for some figures. Quite frustratingly, some figures I wouldn't have minded having, but I've got to stick to my principles on it and just say, look, sorry guys, I gave you a chance. You put a note on my account. I'm not asking the world. I feel I've been a very loyal customer. In fact, I noticed, it's quite scary actually, I noticed via PayPal that since I started the account with them in 2025, so about just under a year ago, I suppose, there's £1,700 being spent with them. Which I won't be the biggest spender, I'm sure, with them. But I feel that's a substantial amount when it comes to someone overseas buying into it. What rights does it give me? Well, very few, actually, really. But just on the basis of goodwill, I would like to have thought that, as I am a reliable returning customer, that they would at least take care to read the notes on the account to say, yeah, don't combine these things up. I acknowledged in the email that it's not the team's fault, the support team's fault. They're trying their best. They've been let down by others. Because obviously support and sales and everything is going to be all different, isn't it? So, what do you think? But yeah, no, it's a very sad day. It's a very sad day because obviously I pre-ordered those items for a reason. I wanted them. Still do want them, really. But it's just not. It's not sensible. There is too much at stake financially to run the risk. It is a sad fact. So going forwards, nothing really changes apart from the fact there's no new toys coming. Now, the best case scenario I'm hoping for is that they follow through, do as I've asked, cancel the pre-orders, and then I will just take my chances on stuff coming into stock, make sure I've got my wish list up to date, email me, notify me by email when it's arrived in, and do it that way for some of the special items I wanted, the more special items I wanted. This is, I'll acknowledge here, this is where in the past I might have torn up layouts to go, I don't want to see it, don't want to do it. The fact of the matter is I am feeling like a break is probably a good idea, not needed necessarily, but probably a good idea just to lay off a little bit. And the great thing is that it's not due out for a show to the remote, so I can take a little month off or something, just think, nothing's happening to any of this. You know, that would be stupid. You don't get a collection like this together and then get rid of it. Well, you can if you want, but this collection is more than just the trains. It represents a lot more to me, as I've said before. So yes, there's nothing to worry about from you, the viewer's end. Nothing's being sold. The only thing is there isn't the new stuff coming in, which I'm very sad because one of the things was a Series 0 Shinkansen. But there are ways and means of getting hold of them. I've still got other shops in Japan I can use. And again, but I'm just going to wait for things to be in stock now. That's the long and short of it. I cannot risk pre-orders from there now at all. That line has been crossed in my mind. Whether that's part of how my brain works, or just me being a bit of an arse, I don't know. But either way, you know, I trusted them, and that I've been let down more than once. So yeah, it's a shame. It is a real shame. So yeah, not really the update video I wanted to make, but the one that I have had to make. I wanted to keep people aware of the situation, because this is, you know, yes, I'm going to be stung for the import here. I am not unfamiliar with import. I have crossed that bridge many times. I've paid it many times. It's part and parcel of doing railways outside of the UK as a UK resident. It's part and parcel, even thanks to certain decisions. Even to model our closest neighbours in Europe. Now you are going to be looking at import if you want to buy certain items. Certain things you're just not going to get here otherwise. So yeah, does it mean I dislike Japan now? Of course not. Does it mean I dislike Hobby Search? Actually, no. I'm disappointed in them. I'm not angry with them. I'm disappointed in them. Does it mean I don't want to go? Absolutely bloody not. I still am desperate to see D51200, which still remains my absolute number one favourite steam engine. You know, it changes and nothing else. I'm just very, very, very sad about this, and just felt it was probably worth just updating everyone. Yes, it means there's going to be little to no new toy videos in the realm of Japanese Engage. However, obviously these items are on their way. The very exciting one I mentioned is on its way. So there are a couple here and there on their way. You know, and it's not like I haven't got a collection. And not all that was from Hobby Search. A lot of it was, but not all of it. You know, there's Plaza, there's Train Tracks, Rails of Sheffield even, you know, the pre-owned section, and other pre-owned sections. There's means and ways to get hold of this stuff. Okay. So it's not like I'm even stopping buying that entirely. It's just, yeah, my main go-to, who unfortunately proved to be cheaper in some regards, sometimes more expensive, but cheaper in some regards for certain items. If my account remains open, it will be one of the ones I'm taking my chances with, making sure things, you know, if I've got things right, I want that. Okay, it's in stock. Quick, grab it. Yeah. If not, then I've got the other ones. You know, but it is sad. It is sad. Now, obviously, it's interesting how these things line up, isn't it? It's interesting how these things sort of cross. I wish I could say I planned it this way, but obviously I can't control what they're doing. But yeah, now obviously this does come at a time where I'm, as I said the other day, I'm wakening up to the fact that for Steam, I'm just going to have to look at the UK anyway, and I wanted to make use of some of my UK models here as well. This reinforces that. Actually, if anything, it reinforces that decision as a good one, despite my misgivings, because even if I went European, I'd still be facing the same potential dilemma situation. So, in fact, I'd be guaranteeing on pretty much almost every brand new loco would be an import tax hit, which is something I wouldn't suffer with these. But, with European ones, I would be. So, buying from the UK, yes, they cost more than these do. Obviously, in double O, they're twice the size. So, they're always that. Twice the size in a bit. But yeah, I'll still be putting out Japanese content. It's channel name I did consider changing a couple of times because it's a bit wordy, isn't it? Gaijin no Nihon Densha A. To bring the Woodgate Junction back into it. But it may be a Gaijin at Woodgate Junction or something like that. Or Woodgate Junction Gaijin. There we are. That could be a nice catchy one. But yeah, so it's interesting this has happened around the same time I'm thinking of that. And I say I wish it could be planned that way. I can provide, if people want to see, I can provide the screenshots of the email, or provide a screenshot of the email where you can see all the items in one area, the amount of yen cost, and you can do your own conversion to double check that what I'm saying has actually happened. The only thing I don't have, I will have the original order emails, so I could even show you that, and the recombination emails when I combine the two Hiroshima trams into the one set, or into the one vehicle. It's irritating, but once I've had confirmation of their moves from them, then I will potentially, if I do the Swindon show this weekend, I might treat myself with some of the funds that are then available. Not banking on it just now, either way, because I'm still trying to, despite what I said about, don't do a stat file, but pre-grouping engines, I am sort of starting to hone in on a theme, a setting for it. It's something I'd like to have in mind, and I'm just trying to decide between my usuals of the Great Western and the LNER, but with the Great Northern thrown in. The Great Northern is the winning one at the minute, with the Great Northern at a station. Great Northern meets the Great Central, and that's where the exchange engines over on trains. Freights carry on with a driver from the Great Northern or the Great Central, depending which way the train's going, and the Midland branch line meeting them just south of Nottingham. It works out. If you go on Round Map online, look around that area, you can see the three companies that are also there. They also get the LNWR in as well. If I have it as an extension from Ashby of the Ashford and Eton joint to the NWR Midland Joint Railway there. So was it potentially 5 liveries, because Great Western had running into Nottingham, so running right into Nottingham, so on the Great Central. So yeah, in theory, could bring 5 liveries to bear on that one. I don't know about Judy Brewer. I will admit, I have just put, talking about orders, I've put 2 of the Rapido Dubar red liveried wagons on order, 1 van and 1 open wagon in the early red livery, because that will go nicely with the small prairie, if nothing else. And also, they'll be usable with the Great Northern and stuff and everything like that, because it's, yeah. But yes, I'm just trying to settle in. LNER stuff would be cool. Obviously, I do like my A4s. I've got Flying Scotsman here as well. Violence behind that. I did get the LNER J52 at the Gaydon Model Railway Show, the Model Railway Show, the Gaydon Museum. So yeah. But that's the fun bit. That's the bit I get to enjoy, explore, and going to Swindon is going to be a huge influence, and that's what makes me nervous there. But yeah, I'll figure something out. And it doesn't stop me. The key part is to remember to always have fun. And I shall, and that's why I've still got I've got the lock-on order, which is a Highland Railway engine, nothing to do with any of those companies I just mentioned, but something I'd like. It's stuff like that's going to be fun, and that's the point I'm going to stick to with that one, so it doesn't really matter as such. I could go all out Great Northern, if I wanted to. The only thing I'm really missing is the Atlantics. And I kind of like that. I kind of like the idea of doing more heavily Great Northern, because it's a nice livery as well. The only thing I'm not so keen on is the wooden carriages, the teak coaches. But potentially that's something else I could look into with, if once I have the confirmation from Hobby Searches, maybe sticking a couple of sets of the Evolutions on pre-order, so the Great Northern ones in particular, and then I've got some nice teak effect ones, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So it's just something I need to get used to the idea, because obviously I'm coming from either very bright colours or very dark colours, and I'm going to have to get used to something new. So that'd be cool. That's going to be cool. It's exciting, and that's the thing I want to think. And I will remind everyone to always have fun with the layouts, despite setbacks like this. I know as well as anyone just how hard it can hit you. Obviously this is hitting me pretty hard, but it's not a time to lose despair. You just do something else for a bit. Now, whether that's like myself, where I'm just going to look at I'm just going to take a break from these for just for a month or so, but even that's not a set date. If I take a few days and go, actually, do you know what, I really fancy running, I've got 2 trains set up still, if I fancy running those trains, then and obviously I will be running trains, because there's the Shinkansen thing I'm really excited to show you. It's not a full Shinkansen, it's just a bit of one. I've got those I'm really excited to show you. There's some anniversary vehicles coming in, they shipped Saturday. So there I'm really excited to show you those, and obviously the new ones coming. So there are, I'm going to be running stuff, so some of that made me go, do you know what, I'm ready to run trains on here again, and it'd be symbiotic with my UK stuff again. But just at this moment in time, stepping back. But yeah, so it's not the end of the world. It really isn't. This is a hobby. It is, but it's natural to be upset. That's also fine. Okay. Anyway, I've witted on at you for nearly 20 minutes now, so I shall simply say, arigato gozaimashita, take care, or stay safe and be well. And, like I say, it's something you have to get used to. You're not going to do it without it. You're going to hit it at some point. My issue isn't being surprised by that. It is disappointment that having taken steps to work around it, or work with it, the legal way, because the very illegal way is to ask them to modify the amount on the bill, the weight bill and everything. That is illegal. Don't go around asking shops to do that, as tempting as it is. Despite making sure there's measures in place at their end to ensure that things happen a certain way, it hasn't, and I've had to take the appropriate action to safeguard myself. Look, you were fed earlier on, you can stop making noises. Anyway, before I go on any longer, as I say, take care all, and sayonara.